Hello, my name is Nick. I'm a real estate agent for Zackos Realty here in Sarasota, Florida. If you haven't seen some of my other videos, my wife and I have lived in Florida for about 7 or 8 years now, both originally from Ohio. In our free time, we love going golfing and going to the beach. Really, we just love being outside and have always wanted to be close to the water. And in my opinion, I don't think there's a better place to do that than on the Gulf Coast of Florida. So in this video, we're going to highlight the Venice and Manasota Key areas, and more specifically, where you can find affordable properties on the beach. I think most people assume that properties on the water are going to be expensive, and most of the time they are, but you can find some great houses and condos for under $1 million. Focusing on the beach communities of Venice and Manasota Key, there are some great options right on the water, starting around $350,000. So let's start in the city my family and I currently call home, Venice, Florida. If you're not familiar with the area, Venice is just south of Sarasota, right on the water, and is known as the shark tooth capital of the world. The city itself is a bit older, but does have a lively downtown area on the island, and is home to some of the best beaches in the state. Now, I know most people assume living on the beach with water views is going to be out of their price range, but you can find some great properties for relatively cheap, considering you're right on the water. I mean, just doing a quick search, in Venice alone, there are dozens of properties that are beach or waterfront in the $350,000 to $600,000 range. Looking at properties that are under $1 million on Venice Beach, you can expect mostly 1 and 2 bedroom condos, many that come with deeded beach access, and for boaters, there are a ton of properties here with docks available to rent, and there's a marina and yacht club on the north end of the island as well. My family and I have been visiting and recently living in the Venice area for a long time now and absolutely love it. The fact that you can find properties on the water for under $500,000, in my opinion, is a great deal and probably won't last for long. Moving south of Venice, the next area we're going to look at is Manasota Key. Although Manasota Key is a little less well known than Siesta Key and even Venice, the lifestyle and beaches here are second to none. This is probably one of my favorite areas on the Gulf Coast of Florida, mostly because it's a little more isolated and quieter than other beaches. I also love the area because the properties you can get here on the water are much more diverse and available compared to most beach towns. Most of the time when looking for properties on the water for under $1 million, you're going to be looking at condos. But at Manasota Key, there are villas and single-family homes available here as well. In the past 3 months alone, there have been almost a dozen single-family properties that have sold for under $1 million. I don't think you can find that anywhere else on the Gulf Coast of Florida. What really sets Manasota Key apart from other beach areas is the laid-back vibe and atmosphere. There are also some great food spots to check out, like the White Elephant Pub, Lock and Key, and Waverly, just to name a few. If you're looking for affordable beach properties, the first place I'd start your search is Manasota Key. You won't be disappointed. When looking for properties on the water, there are a few things to consider. Many of these condo associations have a little higher HOA fees, so it's important to factor that into your decision. Also, a lot of people purchase properties in beach communities hoping to use them for supplemental income as rentals, and you can definitely make money here doing that. I mean, in season, you can be looking at charging renters well over, $2,500 a month. But you do have to make sure you check with the homeowners associations because some have restrictions as to the minimum lease period and the amount of leases per year. It's just something to consider. I think if you ask most people, living on the beach is definitely something everyone would love to do. I know it has always been something my wife and I have talked about, although we thought we'd have to be millionaires to do so, and that's just not the case. These are some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, right here at our fingertips in the Sarasota area, and there are still properties available for relatively affordable prices. In this video, we just looked at the Venice and Manasota Key areas. If you're interested in other beach communities, we have other videos available on our page that highlight, Siesta Key, Longo Key, Anna Maria Island as well. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Again, this is Nick with Zackos Realty in Sarasota. Please feel free to reach out anytime with any of your real estate needs. Thank you.